We're not live. Oh,
Oh, we are live.
we are live.
Coming to you from the cosmos.
Cosmos, February 7th, exactly 1 week before Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome. I love that.
So we're with Shane, our favorite coach, and playful improv teacher, and enchantress and magician.
Yes.
Right. Thank you for being here with me.
Yeah. Yes. And Nikolai, I mean, I'm going to give you the wizard title.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. And so welcome, everyone. We wanted to talk about a couple of things. First is that we wanted to make a play date with all of you.
Yes.
Or as many of you that want to join, and put together everything that we been playing with the last months or longer with Shane, combining improv and our parts and connections. And yeah, so as you've seen us maybe doing already the hot seats and connecting, playing between us and exploring. And so we want to go to the next step of having a group dynamic.
Yes.
And see, yeah, play with that. And yeah, do you want to add anything, Shane?
Yeah, well, I love that it's a play date because growing up, we didn't have play dates. Like the kids these days are like, can I have a play date? Like they ask for it. I just played with friends outside. And I want to speak to the idea like now, when you invite someone in person, it's like, oh, like you sent me that invite and you're like, it's real, it's in person. It's a whole other thing. So our next step here is, we have our 6 weeks Odyssey happening. But in the meantime, we want to have a turn on event, which means it's free. It's our gift to the universe. It's our gift to you. But it's happening on the 21st. You do have to register, but it is a free night to experience group play. And we will be experiencing leading in a group. So it's a laboratory of sorts, but it's a play date. So put it on your calendar. It's February 21st, 90-minute journey at 8 p.m. And yeah, we're all going to play together. We're going to be facilitating, but as you see, we facilitate here. There's a certain amount of surrender that we have. So we don't know what you're going to get, but our intention is that you have fun, we connect, and some new discoveries about yourself get revealed.
Yeah, and Shane and I have been talking a lot about play, and I really like how Shane puts it, play as the vehicle. So we've been thinking about what's the vehicle that we use for self-discovery, for connection, for getting to know ourselves, for transforming ourselves, and play, which means so many different things for different people.
Yes, I'm so excited you're bringing this part up. And I want to say hello, everybody who's joining us. It's nice to have everyone here. Yeah, I cut you off a little bit just now because I remembered what we talked about, and I'm so fired up about it, is that the word play means different things to different people. And it can really create a break in connection if you don't have an understanding of what that means. So if you're here live, I'd love for you to write down just your first thought, best thought. Like when you hear the word play, just write down whatever you think, like as many possibilities, because I had an interaction where I was like, totally surprised. And in that surprise, I was able to be really clear with what I meant by play. And when you're meeting someone new, that word can be really a key factor, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I think the things that already spoke about last week, but we kept going back to is like the no agenda part, which felt so freeing and
Yes.
so like kind of removing all the planning, removing all this part of us that wants things to happen in a certain way, and
Mhm.
really surrendering. And yeah, and another couple of other things that came up when we talked about it is how, why is it so transformative? It's
Mhm.
because we're allowing the spontaneity of ourselves to unfold, and like really being in a place of like beginner's mind, a place of curiosity with ourselves, rather than I know already who I am and I'm gonna present myself with the image of who I think I am or who I think I should be.
To- And with Valentine's Day in mind, I think this is a really big deal. Whether you're dating, you're single, or you're in a partnership, there's so much shit wrapped up in it. How should you be as a husband? How should you be as a boyfriend? How should you be as a long-term partner? How should you be
Mm,
as a new partner? How should you be as a single person? And the way you described play, the word that comes so loud to me is vulnerability. Like,
mm,
how many things, and I really have this question for everybody, how many things, how many events, circumstances, places do you show up where there's no goal? There's no like, I have to finish this project. I have to make this person happy. I have to get muscles. Like everywhere we go as adults, there's some expectation or there's some goal or there's some reason. And in the play that you and I are talking about, not only is there none of that, there's also no limitations. And that's the fun part. You know, a lot of people
mm,
think, and so I just want to speak to that is that the way we play with play is so vulnerable because it's like two people not knowing what's going to happen. It's like a level playing field, right? I don't know if that's where
mm.
the term comes from, but it's so just to give this example because I want to. So I have a date with this guy and I met him through this Dom sub swinger website. And he actually is a student of my BDSM teacher. So it's like, oh, amazing. I know he has tools. I know he has boundaries and consent. Like I know what he's learned. So he said, great, let's have dinner. And then if we feel like it, we can go back to my place and play. And I was like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like I was so upset. And I said, that really puts a lot of expectations on me. And I don't feel like we should meet anymore.
Mm,
Um, I didn't want
mm,
to explain. I didn't want to do anything. And then when he did respond, he said, oh, it said play on your profile. And I read back
mm,
and I'm like, it said play in a way that I understand play, like play with life.
mm,
He saw the
mm,
word play and assumed. So I was like, oh, I get it. Like in that moment, it could have been like, that's it. This girl's a bitch. Fuck her. But he wrote back. And then I felt like he deserved an explanation. And
mm,
I also felt safe to give one without being judged. So I
mm,
said, oh, well, I don't know if we'll go back. I just play has no agenda. There's no limitations. I don't know what'll happen, but let's meet and see. He's like, oh, that feels really good. And I was like, yeah, that feels really good. And to experience that is the only way I can say it like that.
mm.
So if someone's listening, it's confusing, you're normal. It's not easy to explain.
Yeah.
And there's different ways to play, but the play that we talk about has actually no agenda, no result. I guess, well, wait a minute. What about connection? Is that it's an
Yeah,
intent?
there is, I think the result are not like, I think I just wanted to say one thing we kind of came up with was like play as a state of mind, rather than
Mm,
play as like we're playing chess or something, but like
yeah.
play as a state of being. And And I wanted just to connect to like the spiritual dimension, which is, like being in the present moment, or like meditation, where that is in a way the ultimate play, where you're like really just allowing things to unfold rather than controlling, rather
Oh,
than trying to be in a certain state of mind, and I think, and that's like the whole difficulty with meditation for a lot of people, me included. And for, with play, it's like you're coming and the goal is like to not really have a goal. The goal is to be with what's there. And when you're really able to be with what's there, there's amazing results that come up. That's like, you go to a new state of consciousness, you go to a new state of awareness, you get to know who you really are. But the moment you come there with the idea of like, I'm gonna solve all my problems, you don't get to see who you are, because you're just kind of identified with that part of you who has an agenda, and so it's kind of that same subtlety, right, with play. Like, we're coming and we know that when we're like purely in the moment, purely allowing the connection, purely allowing being there, the results are, are very profound. But if we come and tell you this is the results you're going to get, and you come with that expectation, then it ruins the whole thing, right? So
yeah.
that's like this kind of catch 22 around play and around, yeah, anything where you come to the truth.
I love it. Cause right now I'm like pew pew pew. Like I see all these things behind you. And that was an impulse that I would have, if we weren't talking about play, I wouldn't perhaps have brought it up. But to me, like you talk about it as a meditation, and of course I'm like extreme on the other side. It's trusting yourself to follow an impulse that
Mm,
makes no logical sense. And actually it may fuck with the other person. It may like disrupt the other person
right. For a
and be
moment, yeah.
like, hey, you're not present. So if I'm writing with this guy and he has it in his head, maybe we'll play later. His mind might be thinking about later instead of being with me in the present. And there's nothing
Mm,
more powerful, more attractive, more everything with someone who's just present, and I'm like a present radar. And so it's really obnoxious, and it's a gift, but it's also hard because I'm like, ugh, I can't even, like, I get so annoyed when I see and I name it and then I want them to own it. But that impulse can be physical. You think about a little kid. I think you mentioned it, where you're just like
mm.
walking around the house and you're like, like something comes up, and then you just like, you go back into
Yeah,
your life. Or a kid
yeah,
that just skips or stops and is like,
yeah,
there's no reason for it.
yeah. It's funny
Um,
you mentioned that, because it reminded me again from like Thich Nhat Hanh, who was walking, and one day, like, he's an old man, and I mean, now he passed away,
yeah.
but back in the days he was like walking somewhere, and suddenly like he rolled on the ground, and people were like, what the fuck, and he was like, yeah, just, just wanted to kind of, I had that in my mind coming, and I wanted to do that, and so, yeah, and he was like, yeah, I felt my inner child and I wanted to roll on the ground or something like that, and yeah, I love how you talk about impulses, being in the moment.
And,
Yeah.
we can't live that way, right? Like, because the impulse might be, I see someone on the street and I want to hug them or I want to punch them in the face. Like, we can't follow our impulses. We can be aware of them, and we don't even have to, we can say to someone, oh my God, I see your face. I just want to kiss you. So
Mm,
even doing that is not doing the impulse, but it's sharing it. And in that, because it's the truth of the moment for that person, is an automatic connection. Like I have
mm,
a client, 11 o'clock in the morning, he shows up on Tuesdays. He was late and he was like trying to just move on with it. And I really wanted to know what was going on, why he was late, because I was like, that's boring just to move on. So then when he shared with me why he was late, I shared that I got up late and then I got there just in time. And it was, we connected, and then it brought us back together. It brought us to a place of like, oh, I'm really here with you, versus like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm late, which is
Mm,
like, who gives a shit? Like, so it's a way to drop into a deeper truth of the moment and be with the person instead of performing, which is like in everybody's sex life. So it's almost like play does not mean joy. It doesn't mean
mm,
silliness. It doesn't mean happiness. It's like in every aspect, even in anger and rage, if you can play there, you can go deeper. And that's why we're loving all the odyssey and like the dark that is, it's
mm,
not like we're not leading with darkness, we're just leading with humanness, and we do have dark sides. And what a better way to be with them rather than seriousness, or like, I have to talk to you about something. We're going to do a little, we're going to play right now. And we invite you
mm.
to play with us, and also get excited that on the 21st of February that you can play. And actually it's the day before a major portal opening, right? 2/22/22. So it's
Mm.
like one of those things where it's like, what do you want to clear? I mean, we're going to focus on Valentine's Day because I'm having flashbacks of like when I was 13, when I was 6 and I didn't get a fucking Valentine, or this one little girl gave out Valentines to everybody in her perfect little handwriting. And I was like, fuck you, like I just wanted to be her. So I feel like since the beginning of time, Valentine's has been one of these pressuring, non-playful, it's supposed to be playful,
Mm,
pressure, expectations, limitations, like everything that's opposite of play.
mm.
Okay, now I'll get off my soapbox on that. Obviously, we need to play about it. Well, I like what
I
Anna
just, I just
said.
wanted to, yeah,
Go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I mean, I wanted to just say, I love how you said, like, yeah, in real life, we might not follow the impulse, and but like having a space where we can really, share about the impulse, get curious about the impulse, and maybe play out the impulse, if the space is allowing that, that's really what, brings so much awareness to put these impulses, these thoughts, these different parts in a outside in an embodied way, rather than just like
Mm,
repressing them immediately or something like that. So I think that's definitely one maybe result that
mm.
feels concrete, where you're like allowing parts of yourself to be expressed that usually you might not really have time or don't want to, or is repressing or whatever.
Yes, I love that aspect of the healthiness of, you don't have to take the action, but being aware of it and not repressing it. And, I've been in very facilitated circling groups, and I'm like, I just look at you and I want to smack you, or I want to punch you in the face. And that's not normal in most places. But I remember the reaction from this person being like, I feel like I need that. Like, I feel like I need to be woken up and someone needs to smack me. And it was like, I didn't need to even do it, but just
Wow.
saying it, this person felt really seen. And he's like, yeah, that's what I need. And then it had
Wow.
nothing to do with me personally. It was just
Mm,
like his own, he was just sitting there like I don't know, whatever he was sitting there had me look at him and be like, the fuck are you doing here? You don't want to, like, it fired me up in some way. And just to speak to the impulse might be
mm,
actually helpful, even if your story is like, oh, I shouldn't say that, or I shouldn't share that.
right.
And it really builds this muscle of like, oh shit, I have a lot to offer, even if it seems wrong in society. Or,
Mm,
you can go up to a stranger and be like, you look like someone that I just like want to go on vacation with. You never know, or
mm.
whatever. I'm just made that up, but
I
it's a
like
way
it.
to
Yeah.
connect, and people can be really touched.
Yeah.
Um, and you can take it on
Yeah.
the road. It's kind of like a ninja way to connect with people.
Mm. Wow. Ninja way. I love it. Yeah.
Oh, because I also
Yeah.
have, I don't know if we'll see him, but I have a little ninja that I love.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So let's do a mini play.
Yes. Yeah, and let's give everybody the opportunity. We're going to do a mini journey, really simple. Think about maybe anything you want to say to someone else on Valentine's Day about Valentine's Day. It could be to the universe, it could be to a past person or to a future person, but giving yourself the satisfaction of saying it out loud. Well, this will be the fun about being, I mean, we're going to
Mm,
have fun saying it out loud. So this will be the fun about coming on the 21st, is that you'll get to be seen and heard. And that alone will shift something in your life.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you have any ideas? Do you want to go first or?
I mean, yeah, I guess like when you shared about all these impulses around, Valentine's Day, I guess like what's the first thing that comes up for you around like what do you want to get on Valentine's?
Yeah. I
What's
want fucking flowers delivered to my house. I had no idea. I really do. Like, it's not a fucking hard thing to do. I want someone to
um,
send me fucking flowers. That's it. I don't even care who it's from. It could be anonymous.
wow. And as you say that, do you notice any other voice responding to that or
So, like a really tired, ooh, like emotional. Like I'm
mm,
tired of not saying that out loud and pretending I bought myself flowers. It's fine. Like, no, it's so
mm.
I like surprise flowers. I love sending them to people and I feel like enough people know my address. It's just like I even put it on my Amazon wish list, like
Oh,
yeah, it's one of those really simple things that I don't really declare that I want.
mm. Wow. Do you wanna play with that?
Yeah, I feel like I did. My toes are I'm already like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. I'm
Uh,
embarrassed. It's just something like embarrassing about it.
yeah. So say I'm like just this anonymous person calling you, and I'm like, "Hi, so you got my flowers for Valentine's yesterday?"
Yeah, I really want to like deeply appreciate how tuned in you were. Like I'm supposed to be the goddess that doesn't care, but I really feel unseen on Valentine's. And I feel like everybody thinks I'm taken care of in some way. And I feel ignored on Valentine's Day. So
Wow. Yeah. So what was your favorite flowers from all those flowers?
I mean, I feel like there were a couple of exotic ones that you had to pick out one at a time. Like you had to let
Mm,
them know this wasn't the run of the mill roses. This was like there was birds of paradise and you must have spent money and time. And I just really want you to know I appreciate it. I cried when I got them. Like I felt like my voice was heard. I feel so, yeah, I just feel really appreciative.
wow. And don't you want to like get flowers every day?
Oh my goodness. That would make my life so complete. Who knew? I didn't even know. Yeah, like if somebody came every day and then the man was, I would so gladly tip him. Like if it was part, I would love it. I think there was some TV show where a girl got a room full of roses and they kept coming and she just was like, oh my goodness. It's like a waste in some people's world, but I would love it.
Hmm. And how do you feel like your life would be different if you would like get flowers every day?
I would do it's so I almost don't even want to say it. I would remind me more self-care and in terms of relaxation, not like you have to meditate, but I'd be like, oh, let me meditate with the flowers. Like I would put them
Hmm.
on my face, I would bathe with them. They'd be like little people that lived with me. It would
Hmm.
be so fun.
Yeah, what would you like to tell them stories or
Oh, I'd love to tell them stories. I would put like petals all over my house. So when I woke up, they would be there. I would put them in the snow when it snowed. Like I'd make art with them.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. And what's after once you get flowers every day, what's more you could get every day? Would you want like plants, like
I would,
trees?
yes, I would love someone to come and like take care
What
of my
else?
gardens.
Your gardens?
Yeah, like I plant a lot of things, but I don't think I prune them right. And a lot of times they just die. And then I'm like, ugh, and then I buy more, but I want someone
Mm,
to maybe educate me on how to prune them, show me how to do it, and come over once a week and just do all the things that I thought that I tried, but I didn't do right. Like they would just fix them. So all my trees would be happy and all the plants and flowers would bloom.
mm. And if you have any other like anything you can ask for, what else you would like to like just receive every day?
Yeah, just like taking care of, oh, like I want someone to make celery juice in the morning and clean the juicer. That, that that would be so amazing because I really want to do the thing and I don't want to clean it. And then I don't do it because it's like it's such a big deal. That would be amazing. But they would be very quiet and come in and then leave and let me know it's on the table and then just go.
Nice. And that's
That
it.
is so fun. Oh my God. I feel so lit up right now. I probably look lit up.
Yeah.
That was great.
What did you connect with all these receiving all of that and getting all of
Yeah.
that in your life?
I think I really just, I know I look like I have all my shit together. And I know that people project that on me because I know I'm showing that. Like, I'm
Mm,
everything. And the truth is, like, I would love, I'll say it in a way that really serves me. I'd love to be available to be more open to receive.
like to be more available, to be more open to receive.
Yes. Yeah, I'd like to.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm open. I'm open to receive. And there's a piece that always, there's a piece that shows up that feels like I'm not grateful enough or I have to give back. And
Mm,
I want to just receive and not give back. Not because I'm a
mm.
bitch. You feel like I have to explain, not because I'm a bitch, but because like I give so much. I want to receive without giving back.
Mm, yeah. Do you want to just sit with that, whoever you felt in your body, that part or that little Shane, a little person or a big person, whoever
Yeah.
there,
Yeah,
that
it
that
feels very mixed. Even when I just said that last part, I was mad. I'm like, I give a lot. Like I
mm,
don't have to be mad,
it's
but
okay,
I
you can
want to
be mad.
notice there. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's another part you can
Yes.
allow yourself to be mad.
Yeah, my heart's like alive.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, thanks for going. I had no idea where we were going. Thanks for taking care of it all. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
And I think, yeah, I really love also this part that bringing through play is dream and imagination and creativity in general. And I think that's something I really want more in my life. Like just allowing myself to imagine. And I know for me, it was a part that felt like I think quite repressed when I was young to be like, oh, come on, you need to be real, like don't imagine things you don't know you can get or something like that, and only later, like recently, I really started to notice that pleasure of just, allowing the mind
Mhm.
to
That is a really
dream.
big deal. Yeah. Like how many people watching were yelled at for being a daydreamer? Like you're such a
Mm,
scatterbrain, you're a daydreamer. Get out of, like, and now
yeah,
we know that's how we manifest, or maybe we don't, but some people No,
Yeah, how can we connect to what we want, what we like, without really allowing ourselves to, like play it out inside and outside and feel it and get a sense of like, oh yeah, that resonates, right? Like when I say that, that really feels like something I want.
totally. And I
Yeah.
didn't, knowing that I want flowers every day is it can be embarrassing. Like, oh, what a diva, or but like, I really
Mm,
want that. Who cares if I get it? I feel so seen in sharing it.
yeah.
And so anybody who wants to use this space to be ridiculous and to daydream about what you want in a partner, or let's just do on Valentine's Day, like let yourself have the freedom to say, yeah. And I don't know, it's 9:36. Do you want space back? I didn't even think about that.
Mm, it's okay. I'll do next time.
Okay. And part of
After
me is like,
Valentine.
yeah, after Val, great. Okay,
Valentine.
great. Yeah. Oh, good, Kathy. I'm glad you're here. Yeah. So if this is something that, I mean, it strikes a nerve with everybody. I can't imagine, unless you grew up in a cave, that Valentine's doesn't, you don't have some
Mm,
feeling on it. So yeah, you can use this space to share whatever the fuck you want, like an
yeah.
impulse, thought,
And
feeling.
before closing, those who join, let's just say again that we're doing a group
Yes.
event, a free event that for all of us to come together and facilitate this space of play and exploration and parts of us and improv with
Yes,
Shane and
intentional
myself.
improv, which I'm
Intentional
getting
improv.
into saying more. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a 90-minute journey, February 21st. We're going to post the link. You still have to register, just so we can send you out the Zoom link and all that jazz. And invite your friends, because it's a play date. So we're going to have fun. We're going to play together. We'll use some breakout rooms. We'll be in the main room together, and we're going to play with facilitating together and bringing all of our
Mm.
tools together. So it's a laboratory, and you'll get to use your voice and embody some
Your
impulses.
expression, your parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most of the time after this work, I like to say all the time, but I will leave some room. There's like brain space and physical feelings of lightness,
And
that anything is
yeah.
possible. And especially if you're in a stuck situation, we don't even have to deal with that situation, but just play in general just brings in a lightness that turns the dark, heavy, serious stuff, just like, whew, just brings it some like butterfly lightness. I don't know how else to say it, but
Yeah. And releases some energy,
yeah.
opens some possibilities, some space. Absolutely.
Mhm. Yeah. And that's, I guess, the last piece I'll say is that's the benefit of being in a group, is that sometimes you learn from watching other people's act
Mm,
outs, and you learn from
yeah,
watching
doing,
other
yeah,
people's.
when someone else dares to do something, you're working like inside yourself, your system is processing as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So save the date.
Great.
Oh, put it in your calendar right now. 2/21/22 at 8
Yes,
p.m.
it's
Eastern
virtual.
Standard Time. Yep.
Anna is asking if it's virtual. Yes, virtual.
Yes, it's virtual. And Anna has been to some intentional improv classes. So
Ah,
bring it,
great.
Anna. This is your place to play. She's great with expression, and it's really fun to hear her.
Wonderful.
So I hope you can make it. Um, and if you feel, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's it. All right, everybody. Happy week. We hope that this added something to your Valentine's Day. And if it did, or your world, we always love feedback. Like, what's the impact of watching this? Right? Because it enters your ears, it gets into your consciousness. Like, what do you get from this? We'd love to know.
Absolutely. Yeah, please share.
Okay, excellent.
Okay,
All right,
thank
everybody, have
you.
a good
Bye,
night.
everyone.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.